Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Stash Roundtables. We have gathered around some of the brightest minds in music to discuss everything and anything going on today. We've got an eclectic group of people in my roundtable today for thestash.com, and right now they're going to introduce themselves.
What's up? Tracy G, co-host for Sway in the Morning, BT correspondent.
I'm Eric Rosenthal, one half of the hip-hop sketch comedy group ItsTheReal.
I'm Jeff Rosenthal, the taller one.
Three of us make up ItsTheReal. Jayson Rodriguez, editorial director of REVOLT TV.
I'm Simone, Amelia, aka The Boss Lady, and I'm the host of International Affair on Dash Radio, editor at Larger Report magazine, and I'm a Virgo.
Right now.
Yeah.
My name is Nick Santos. I'm a Capricorn. I like walks on the beach, and I'm a senior staff writer at thestash.com.
My name is David Amaya. I'm a community manager over at Complex Magazine, and I am Joe LaPuma's role model.
I hate to start off on like a somber note, but you know, this past week we all lost a good dude in A.S.A.P. Yams, real name Steven Rodriguez, who was 26 years old. A lot of us here have worked with the A.S.A.P. crew in some shape, way, or form, and it was kind of a blow to the entire community, not just music, but the city, as far as like his influence, and you know, especially in a time where New York hip hop didn't really have much of an identity or didn't really have anything really going on. He was super influential as far as like getting us back on our feet, as far as having hit records, as far as having just a style about some confidence about, especially young New York artists. So I'd love to start the discussion about his legacy at such a young age, especially in this internet age. Tracy, would you like to give it a start?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I didn't get the chance to work with him directly, but I mean, I definitely got to work with, I guess, the byproducts of his vision, Rocky, Ferg, and he was just the mastermind at such an early age. You know what I mean? When you're dealing with a prodigal child like that, you just have to look back and be in awe and give him his credit and make sure that his history is written accurately and just show gratitude. So that's such an early loss that hits really deep, but definitely his legacy is going to be standing tall.
Now, Jeff and Eric, I know you guys have worked with him a bunch of times, and you put on Instagram some really touching words about him. So would you like to share some of your stories?
Yeah, we first met Yams when he came up unexpectedly to MTV, and we interviewed Rocky and 12E and Yams, and Yams was just like the life of the party. Like he just...
Well, I mean, it was noon. He was like gone off of wine.
But yeah, I mean, he was like calling himself the
Puerto Rican R. Kelly.
Yep. He wanted to throw
Diggs.
Yeah. He wanted to throw a parade through Harlem with Rob Bass hosting it.
Right.
He was a lot of fun. He's a genius.
Yeah, I mean, like every time that he and I would text back and forth, like there was a 3-month period where he sent me Ja Rule gifts to every single thing I wrote, but like they all sort of made sense in the conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm really thrilled that like his genius and his life is celebrated in places like the New York Times, and that's like pretty special for this generation.
Absolutely. And you know, he's somebody who's you know, when you think about him, you can't really get too sad because there's so many funny moments that you had with him. Even if you didn't really know him, if you followed him on Twitter, if you followed him on any type of social media, like he made everybody around you laugh.
Yes,
like,
he was an effortless comedian.
Absolutely, absolutely. Jayson, you want to share your thoughts with Yams?
Yeah, no, I think I wrote on my Facebook that it's sad because he had guts and he had vision. And what I mean by that is that, you know, there's like a lot of people who come into this game and, you know, they want the fame and the accolades that come with it, and there's nothing wrong with sort of wanting that destination.
Yeah.
But you kind of need gas to drive your car there, and you know, that's vision. You know what I mean? And you know, obviously, like he had that, and we were really just seeing like the beginning of that. You know, like Rocky only put out one album, Furz only put out one album, and you know they were about to go into the second cycle of it. And you know, with that, and I think that is a huge part of his legacy, and also like the interconnectedness of New York. Where it's like, you know, we had a period where like in my era when I was his age, there was, you know, separate G-Units over here, Dipsets over here, and you know, he looked at that mold and said, okay, that's that, what can I bring it back to? So I'm gonna bring it back to that. So, you know, I thought he was just very shrewd, and on a personal level, just dealing with him, like you said, like he was incredibly personable, you know, didn't have a big ego, when he probably, at this point,
probably could have had a big ego.
Yeah. So you know, it's an extremely sad loss, and it's like they were saying, like, you know, it's cool to see like the New York Times recognize it, CNN recognize it, because it was, although it was something for us in terms of hip hop, you know, he sparked something bigger in terms of youth culture. And, you know, it stemmed from New York, and it's continuing to spread. So.
Yeah, and it's not just the music. I mean, like, you know, there was the lingo, it was the way he dressed, it was, you know, just everything that he did as part of being the architect of A$AP Mob. That it really hurts, especially since he's so young. You kind of feel like he was going to be around for a long time. And you got to, anybody who got to know him or meet him, you kind of felt like he was going to be, you know, I think you said he's supposed to be like the next Irv Gotti.
Yeah.
You know, one of those guys. And he has such a vision for it. It hurts a lot to see him go at such a young age.
I will say that I've never met him, but they're a great bunch of guys, the whole A$AP Mob, and I'm sure they're hurting very much right now, so our thoughts and prayers are with them. And he did seem like someone that every crew needs. I think someone said that he was a figure that every crew needs, and hopefully something comes out of all the work that he put in over the years with them, and I'm sure that his legacy will remain with them closely, even maybe more than if he was here, in a way, in a different way. And I hope they take that with them as they continue, because they are a great group of guys.
And it's kind of hard to say now, but, you know, at least he got the flowers while he could still smell them. You know what I mean? Like, he got that big New York Times look where, you know, we knew who he was, because if you had to deal with A$AP or Ferg or Rocky, any of those guys, you dealt with Yams first, you know what I'm saying? But that look that he got in the New York Times was so big, not just for him, but for people like him, people who, you know, got on Tumblr to find new music, and people that were bloggers and wanted to be more than just bloggers, you know what I'm saying? Like, he took it to a level that not many people have taken it yet, you know, and he's kind of set out that blueprint that people could follow. Nate, do you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I also think you gotta commend the great duality that he's like this larger-than-life personality, entertainer, but on the inside he's like a student of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, his hip-hop lexicon was crazy. Like, he knew all the underground artists from each region, and like, if you were going on his Tumblr, like, even early on, I think many people probably said this, but Ryan Hemsworth was like, yo, he's the first guy that ever posted my music.
Yeah.
You know, so he was, in essence, a trendsetter, a gatekeeper of like bringing New York up, as well as artists from other regions, and that we need more people in the game like that.
Absolutely. Amaya, you want to touch on a little bit?
Yeah, it was, to be honest, I've never really, you know, I'm a fan of A$AP Rocky and Rosenthal, but I haven't, you know, wasn't with that, but I remember that when he was broke, it was kind of crazy how many people were reacting to it, and like how big of a part of the culture he was. And kind of, you know, it sucks to lose somebody like that who was growing every day. This was like a young age, you know.
Absolutely, and I feel like if you just met him for like a few moments, I've worked with him on a you know, a side project called Wrestle Rap, where, you know, it's a website dedicated to, like, you know, rap fans who like wrestling. You know what I'm saying? He was one of those guys who wasn't ashamed to, you know, be who he was and be this big wrestling fan. And, you know, he's very personable, man. Like, even if you met him just for like 5 minutes, he treated you like, you know, you knew him forever.
Yeah, I think one of the big things too is that, talking about not being ashamed, he was not ashamed of calling what that whole crew did New York music.
Yeah.
You know, because like for a long time people were like, New York fits in a certain box, and he was like, no, it does have southern elements, and it does have this lingo, and it's a new New York, and we're just gonna rock out to that and live it. Yeah. And they did.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to play Captain Hindsight right now, but a lot of people weren't, you know, too fond of the A$AP movement when it first came out, especially New Yorkers. They were very big on, oh, he sounds too much like he's from Houston, though. Oh, he sounds too much like he's from this and that. And Yams was one of the people that first stepped up and like, yo, this is why this stuff is corny. Like, this is what, you know, New York is now. And he stepped up to the plate and, you know, brought the A$AP movement to what it is now. So we'll end it on that note. You know, rest in peace, Steven Rodriguez, Eastside Stevie, A$AP Yams, and praise to the whole A$AP Mob family.
She finna call the cops, we been plotting on the op. She the one who got the drop, just a free quick fix it up, and it's okay. They gon' take me back to my old ways. I was trying to chill, pop the sales ever since I got a deal. Kick it with my model chick, sick Chris, fuck niggas wanna diss. Now I gotta let them know it's really drill. Lord, pretty Flacco Jordy. Dirty fuck niggas, how you